Hey there guys, Alex here from SPP, and today we're going to be talking about how to build your agency's dream team. Let's get into it. Building an agency and hiring the right people is a very delicate process. You need to move pretty quickly, but you also need to be very careful as making bad hiring decisions will end up costing you time, money, and reputation. In this video, I'll cover everything from identifying agency gaps to recruiting the right people for your agency. Every agency is going to have some kind of gaps, from expertise to workload, etc. Some of these gaps are going to need to get filled in order to secure a sustainable future for your agency, while other gaps can be worked around. Identifying the former is the first step in creating a solid agency team structure that will lead to high productivity. But how do you identify agency gaps? There are plenty of methods to do this, but I'll be introducing you to a purpose-built one called HR gap analysis. HR gap analysis is a process used by agency owners that helps them identify the gaps in their team that are preventing them or will prevent them from reaching their business objectives. This consists of a four-step process. The first one is to identify the goals that your agency is trying to achieve at the moment. The second step is to identify the skills that are required to help you reach these goals. For each skill that you identify, make sure to rate it on a scale of 0 to 10 based on its importance. The next step is going to be to assess the currently available skills. Do your employees have the skills required to achieve your goals? You can use a combination of questionnaires, skill tests, and observation to determine this. And the final step is going to be to compare the results that you find against the expertise rating from earlier. Before you jump to hiring new employees, you should make sure that you've ruled out the possibility of reskilling existing team members, as it's much more cost and time effective to invest in existing team members than to hire new people. Of course, reskilling is not always going to be an option, but it's definitely worth checking out if you already have a great team that's missing just a couple of key skills. Start by looking within the agency for people that have skills that are similar to the ones you're looking for and start brainstorming ideas on how you can reskill them. For example, you can use online courses, external mentorship services, or internal mentorship programs. If you can't think of a suitable candidate or can't think of a way to reskill your existing employees, then hiring new people might be the only option here. Before you start hiring new employees, ask yourself if it's possible to achieve what you're looking for with the help of some tools or technology. Things like automated client billing, AI-driven chatbots, and no-code solutions can all help you bridge the gap without having to make any new hires. You could spend some money building out an entire sales team, but investing in a chatbot could yield similar results. Of course, technology is not always going to be able to replace a human, however, for some certain tasks, it is a viable option. Another important factor to consider here are tools such as client portals. Let's say you're thinking of hiring a developer to add one to your agency's website. Instead of building it from scratch, you could use SPP's no-code client portal. It can be fully white-labeled and it sits on your own custom subdomain. You'll be able to keep the same branding, customize the design and features, and more, all without having to hire a web developer. SPP costs a lot less than the combined costs of recruitment, onboarding, and salary. Plus, it's proven technology that is already powering thousands of successful agencies. Alright, so you've ruled out reskilling, tools, and technology. Now it's time to identify the roles that you need to fill and profile the candidates that will fill these roles. Start by creating a job description for each one of these roles. Make sure to include details about the required skills, responsibilities, commitments, and duties. This should include things like expertise and qualifications, but also intangible qualities such as personality and attitude. A recruitment plan is a document that you're going to use to streamline your hiring process, and it should include what your agency is going to need from the skilled workers. To create one, there are 4 simple steps. Determine candidate selection criteria, choose your recruitment channels, set a timeline to follow, and delegate responsibilities to your team. Having a recruitment plan in place will save you a lot of time and stress in the long run. Plus, it's much easier to keep track of your candidates and applicants when you have everything you need documented in one single spot. Every great recruitment effort is based on great recruitment assets. Things like job postings, website banners, videos, emails, posts, etc. are going to be the basis of this. There aren't any rules on how you should be creating these assets. However, there are guidelines on what should be included, such as your agency's values and culture, focusing on benefits, and writing for your target audience. Skills are obviously important when you're building a team for your agency, which is why we went over the HR gap analysis earlier. However, not everyone that has the right skills on paper is going to be a perfect fit within your agency. Make sure you screen applicants based on their key skills, but hire applicants based on their cultural fit, attitude, and potential. To make sure you're assessing the right things during an interview, create a set of questions that target someone's cultural fit and potential. There are tons of topics that you can use to approach this. A couple of examples would be their ideal work environment or their social expectations. The goal of any hiring effort is to make the hiring process as smooth as possible. This is a win-win from you getting to build your team efficiently to the candidate having a good experience and potentially joining your team. It is very important to create an organized system to collect your applications. An online form connected with something like Google Sheets, Notion, or Airtable is going to be perfect for this. Although, to make the process smoother, you need to stick to two main things. One is going to be to stick to a timeline. Being organized is great, but without a timeline to follow, you may get stuck in the recruitment process for months. And two is to set realistic deadlines and stick to them, whether that's 1 week turnarounds for interviews or 2 week timeframes for making offers. By following these steps, you'll have a smooth recruitment process and a great team in no time. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day.